Apocalyptic fanfics are definitely the most popular theme for these stories. I mean, God forbid Greg and his family not have their lives threatened for one story. And I'm all here for it. Manny.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
But today we got a very unique apocalyptic story. It's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Red Sun. Now basically the whole idea is the sun turns red. I mean, it's in the name. But if you try to go outside, you get horrifically burned. And on top of that, all technology does not work at all. Now when the sun goes down, you can go outside. Technology does work. However, there are going to be things hunting you. Now the story was recommended by Unremarkable6969, which is actually the author of the fanfic, which is really cool that the authors are actually watching these videos as well. Now the first link is going to take you to the Reddit page where you can check out everything that they post on there. And if you do go on to enjoy the video, of course make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. And without further ado, let's hop into the first page of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Red Sun. October. Saturday. When I woke up today, I could tell something was off. First, I'd usually hear Rodrick's band practicing or Manny throwing a fit downstairs, but the house was dead silent. Second, the sun was red and the sky was orange. I thought that was pretty weird, but it wouldn't interrupt my Twisted Wizard marathon. At least that's what I thought. Well, it's good to see he's got his priorities straight. I went downstairs for a quick breakfast, thinking I'd run into someone on the way. But nope. Mom, Dad, Rodrick. I didn't even see Manny. I made a bowl of cereal and went to watch some cartoons on TV, but the TV wouldn't turn on. I checked to see if it was plugged in, and it was, so I had no idea why it wasn't turning on. In fact, it seemed like the entire house didn't have electricity. Nothing was working. I figured Manny must have messed with the fuse box again, so I went to the basement to investigate. When I opened the door though, I was tackled to the ground. It was Rodrick. When he saw it was just me, he got up and apologized. I told him to explain himself, and he did just that. Rodrick woke up to loud thumps from the first floor. He thought it was his band coming over to practice, so he went upstairs as fast as he could. But it wasn't his band. It was a monster. He watched as the monster went into the first floor bathroom, followed by a flushing sound. He was so scared that he decided to hide out in the basement until he was sure it left. He looked really shaken up. I asked Rodrick to describe what the monster looked like, and instead of saying anything, he grabbed a piece of paper and pen and drew it instead. My god. I told him the monster was gone by now, so we had nothing to worry about. We looked around the rest of the house, but we couldn't find Mom, Dad, or Manny. As for the Red Sun, neither of us could explain it, but we figured it'd be best to stay inside for now. With the electricity out, I only had books to keep me busy. Sunday. I didn't get much sleep last night. When the sun set, suddenly everything was working again. Phones, radio, the TV, we even had the internet back. Rodrick says the Red Sun must have been interfering with all those signals, like in the movies. We turned on the TV to see what was on the news, but we didn't find anything. All the major news channels were dead. I called Rowley to see if he was okay, and I was relieved when he picked up. When he woke up, he couldn't find his parents anywhere, and when he tried to go outside, he got burned, so he stayed inside all day. Nothing was working inside his house either. At least it's not just us. I asked him if he wanted to stay over with me and Rodrick, and he said he'd be over in a few minutes with all his stuff. I asked Rodrick what we should do, and he said until we know more, we should just stay here and fortify. It might blow over in a few days after all, so we shouldn't get crazy yet. When Rowley came over, he said that he heard weird noises coming from the woods, like a big animal was walking around. We told him about the monster Rodrick saw, and that terrified Rowley for the rest of the night. We spent all night fortifying the house and gathering anything we could use as a weapon. We worked late into the night, and when we finished, no one felt like going to sleep, so we just stayed up watching Star Wars movies. It was nice, pretending everything was normal for a few hours. When the sun came up, everything stopped working. Rodrick hit the nail on the head with his theory. We weren't sure what to do. We couldn't go outside, and nothing was working, so me and Rowley played board games in the basement. Rodrick was sleeping. He was tired from doing most of the work last night. We can't live like this forever. Eventually, we'll at least need to get more food. I tried to put on a brave face for Rowley's sake, but I'm not the only one thinking this. I think Rodrick is having similar thoughts. He's just acting for me and Rowley. Even Rowley must have had this cross his mind. He's pretty dim, but even he's not that stupid. I'll talk about it later. Monday. A lot has happened over the last few hours. When the sun set, we decided to get some fresh air. We didn't stay out there for long though. Rowley started to get scared, so we had to go back in. About half an hour later, there was a knock at the door, and Rodrick told me to go answer it. I opened the door and got a face full of Fraggly. "Hello, friend." He said he was over to check on us. With the current situation, his mom was getting worried that the neighbors might be in trouble. He also brought over some home-cooked food his mom made for us, which was the only actual food we have had for over 2 days. None of us can cook. Rodrick asked if he or his mom needed anything, just to be polite, but Fregley said that they were fine for now. I was surprised how normal Fregley was acting. I guess the whole situation scared him straight. When he left, I saw Rodrick take out a piece of paper and write something on it, but he wouldn't let me see it. If I had to guess, it was a list of people to avoid. If I was making that list, I'd put Fregley on it too. Tuesday. Here's everything we know about our situation. There are monsters roaming around, sometimes in the woods and sometimes in people's houses. There aren't a lot of monsters though, or we would have encountered another one by now. The sun is red. When the sun is up, don't go outside or you'll get burned. We're not sure if the sun can kill you though. During the day, all electronics are useless. Radio signals, cell service, internet, the power, all of it's down. The water and plumbing still work, and electronics with batteries are still usable, like a phone you charged the night before. During nighttime, everything goes back on, but the police are unresponsive, and the internet is so slow that it's more frustrating than helpful. Everything else works fine though. There's more we don't know. We know almost nothing about the monsters, but one thing at a time. I found an old comic from my first year of middle school. It was my original Creighton the Cretan comic. It's weird to think that was nearly 4 years ago. Creighton the Cretan by Greg Heffley. Hi, my name is Creighton. No, it isn't. Your name is Stuart Pitt. Oops. Hi, I'm stupid. What an idiot. I started looking around for other comics I made so I could put them together in a folder. I'm still pretty proud of my old stuff. End of chapter 1. Wednesday. Today we finally decided to split. We're leaving Plainview and venturing out into the great unknown. We spent yesterday packing, and we left at around midnight. We're not sure the van windows will protect us from the sun, so Rodrick said we should play it safe. I didn't really feel like leaving so early in the morning, but there's no way I'm gonna get left behind. Rodrick said gas shouldn't be a concern, since we could just siphon it from other cars, if we really needed to. We could steal some from the station. Rowley wasn't so hot about that, so I tried to explain that if we wanted to survive, we'd have to do whatever it takes. Then he started rambling on about what Joshy would do, and I started to tune him out. I miss my family. Mom, Dad, even Manny. I never liked them while they were around, but now, I just want to see them again. I don't care anymore that Manny shoved a cookie in my game console. I didn't care anymore that Mom tried to make me read Ol Yeller. I don't care anymore that Dad tried to send me to a military school. I miss them. Friday. I had no time to write in this yesterday. Everything went to pot. I'll start at the beginning. On the way out of Plainview, we picked up Chirag Gupta. He said his parents never came home Saturday, and he's been looking for a group to join ever since. It was kind of weird, but no one had an issue with it, so he hopped in. But as soon as we got out of Plainview, Rodrick's van suddenly flew off the road. Something had T-boned us. We hit the ground hard. The van tumbled down a hill until it slammed into a tree. Rowley was crying, Chirag was screaming in a language I couldn't understand, and Rodrick was digging around the front seat for something. Then Rodrick pulled out a gun. He got out of the van and shot into the darkness. A horrific shriek came from the darkness before something scurried away. It must have been one of those monsters, but I never thought it would actually try to take on a van. I asked Rodrick where he got a gun, and he said that he got it from Dad. Well, kind of. Before Dad married Mom, one of his favorite hobbies was hunting. This was one of his old hunting rifles. I thought he got it from one of Dad's Civil War reenactment things. I never knew that about Dad. I began to wonder what else I didn't know about my family. But we had more important issues. Like the van. Thankfully, the van was still right side up, but the engine wouldn't start. Great. The van was broke. After getting the cuss words out of my system, Rodrick said that he could probably get it running again before morning, but we should set up camp just in case. If it took longer than expected, we didn't want to get caught out in the sun. Rowley muttered something about how we should have never left Plainview. Just to be nice, I said I would go out into the woods to look for more firewood, while he and Chirag set up camp. I'd usually make Rowley do it, but he seemed like he needed a break. I wish I wasn't so selfless though. Trust me, the woods are scary enough when there aren't monsters hunting you down. When I got back, the campfire was set up and they even built a fire pit. Rowley said that one of the monsters actually tried to get into the tent after they set it up, but Rowley managed to drive it away with a hammer. Soon we got a fire going. Rodrick told us to sleep, but we all said that as long as Rodrick was awake, we'd stick it out with him. He appreciated that, but before Rodrick could finish, the monster came back. Asshole came back for round 2, and this time, he had backup. From what I counted, there were 5 of them. There's no way we could take them all on. I figured Rowley would have collapsed from fear or something, but he darted into the woods faster than I had ever seen him run. Me, Rodrick, and Chirag all hid in the van. Rodrick told me to grab the gun from the back, just in case. I thought I was gonna get something cool, but he just gave me a tiny pistol. I guess it's better than nothing. The monsters slammed into the van, I guess to try to get us out. This was like Vietnam all over again. Suddenly, they stopped. I thought for a second they had given up, but how wrong I was. The van was somehow lifted off the ground and thrown into the woods. I flew out of the window and came face to face with the monsters. I froze up. Being that close to something like that is sure to mess a person up, but luckily, I had the gun Rodrick gave me, and I shot that thing right in the eye, and it screamed and ran away. The other 4 followed it. I was relieved that they went away, but Chirag said they might come back, and with greater numbers, so we should find a place to hide. I said we should go back to camp, but Rodrick just had to bring up Rowley, and how we shouldn't leave him to die. He had a point, so we all split up to look for him, but we couldn't find him. We spent at least an hour looking, but we all knew that the sun would be rising in a couple hours, so we all headed back to camp. We all hid in the tent as the sun rose. Chirag barely making it in. Maybe he should be thankful he's so short. We couldn't really do much in the tent though. I had a couple portable video games that we could all take turns with, and Chirag had a Mad Libs book on him. But that wasn't gonna last us all day. Plus we were all still worried for Rowley. It was hell. The tent was trapping all the heat inside, so it felt like a sauna, and soon we were all getting pretty restless. I'm just glad the pig wasn't with us. It really could have turned into a gas chamber. When the night rolled around, I actually leaped out of the tent. It was a relief not being trapped in there. At that point, we were all so tired and relieved that we just fell asleep. I know we should have been looking for Rowley, but we were tired. Cut me some slack. But sleeping was a big mistake. For whatever reason, we completely forgot about the giant monsters roaming around, and I woke up to Rodrick screaming. That damn monster had him by the leg. It was dragging him into the forest, and I had a few of its buddies with it. I went for the pistol, but I couldn't find it. Before I knew it, Rodrick was gone. That's enough for today. Saturday, we found Rowley. Well, okay, I jumped ahead a little. Let me rewind. End of chapter 2. After what happened with Rodrick, we decided to just go back to Plainview. We couldn't go on even if we wanted to. Maybe one day we could try this again, in 5 years or something. We got to Chirag's house in the nick of time. Just as we shut the door, the sun peeked out over the other houses. It was really unfortunate for the stray cat hanging out on Chirag's lawn. We didn't do much after that though. I occupied his guest room and took a nap for the rest of the day, and who knows what Chirag was up to. I woke up at around midnight and went downstairs for something to eat. I hadn't eaten in 2 days now that I think of it. I made myself a sandwich and figured I would eat it outside. Enjoy the outside air, you know? Plus, I had a lot to think about. I still do. For all I know, I could be the last surviving Heffley. I could be one of the last people on Earth. If people were disappearing as fast as Rowley and Rodrick, how long until I'm next? I didn't get much thinking done though, because I heard a scream come from the woods. Chirag must have heard it too, because he came coming out to see what was going on. For some reason, he smelled a lot like bleach. It must have gone to his brain too, because he said that we should go check it out. I told him he was crazy if he thought I was gonna go into those woods, but then he said I owed him for sleeping with his mom. He got me there. Hold on, when did Greg sleep with Chirag's mom? This is news to me. We went out with a couple flashlights, and after some looking around, we found Rowley. I nearly kissed the bastard. It was great seeing him again, but it was also kind of disappointing. If I were to magically find anyone in the woods, I'd want it to be Rodrick. Whatever, at least we got one of our friends back. Chirag demanded Rowley to spill the beans on how he survived. I must admit, I was curious too. 3 days with no food or water, and being out in the open with a situation like ours? After Rowley bolted away from our campsite, he ran until he tripped on the tree root and face-planted into some mud. He was covered in it from head to toe. He tried getting up, but he just tripped again and again and again. Eventually, he did manage to get up, but by that point, the sun had come up. He got back in the mud, praying the sun wouldn't kill him, and it didn't. Somehow the mud was protecting him, and that's how he survived. The monster somehow didn't notice him or care he was there, and the sun didn't burn him. Chirag said that sort of made sense because hippos basically do the same thing. After eating something, Rowley said he was gonna get some sleep. Understandable, I guess. The sun was gonna be up in a few hours anyway. Monday. Fuck. Chirag tried to fucking kill us. What the hell? We barely survived, holy shit. It basically happened like this. I woke up to the sounds of a chainsaw and Rowley screaming. I went to investigate and found Chirag trying to carve Rowley. Stop squirming. I shot at Chirag out of instinct, but my dumb ass missed. Now he knew I was awake. He dropped the chainsaw and pulled out his own gun, and we got into a shootout. I ran out of bullets and had to go back to the guest room to reload. I nearly dropped the spare bullets. I was shaking so much. I was able to reload, but not quick enough. Drop the gun, Greg. He explained that the world was all about survival now, and the three of us would need a lot of food, lowering his chances of survival. But if it was just him, and he had 4 carcasses to survive off of, he could live off us for months. Holy shit, Chirag is a damn cannibal. That explains the bleach smell, and what happened to Mr. and Mrs. Gupta. I nearly threw up right then and there just thinking about it. Chirag was about to end me right there and then. Luckily enough, Rowley came to my rescue. Apparently, he got free and thought it was a good idea to make a Molotov cocktail, but not only that, but the idiot dropped it. Chirag heard the bottle break and turn around, giving me enough time to grab my gun and shoot him. Don't ask me how Rowley knew how to make a Molotov, because I got no clue. All I know is that it gave me time to shoot Chirag and the house was catching on fire. I ran downstairs and found Rowley trying his best to put out the flames, but if I'm being honest, he was just making them worse. I told them to get to the garage so we could get out of here before we burned up. The fire was the least of our worries though. I guess all the noise and light began attracting those monsters. I could hear them galloping from the woods towards the house. I'm just glad Rowley didn't hear it because he 100% would have fainted. We found the garage pretty quickly and picked out the nicest car. The only problem was that we didn't have the keys to it, but thankfully Rodrick taught me how to hotwire a car back in 7th grade. We sped away at full speed, slamming into any monsters that got into our way. It was even worse than when Rodrick ran down Manny. What? Hopefully things will start looking up, now that it's just me and Rowley. Tuesday. Fuck. How is our luck so damn bad? What the actual hell? Rowley says that I should calm down, but how can I? We're stuck in this damn car in the middle of the day, battery dead and out of gas. Fuck! You know what really sucks absolute dick? Today is Rowley's birthday. Thanks to Chirag, Rowley will be spending his birthday in a fucking car about to die. You know what? No, it's not Chirag's fault, at least not fully. I'm also to blame. If I had been better, maybe if I had been kinder, then this could have been avoided. Damn it. Damn me. Whatever. Hopefully we can survive the day. If not, I guess this will be my last entry. This is Greg Heffley, signing off. End of chapter 3. Now before we get into chapter 4, we have a really cool tie-in that we gotta read before that. It's called the Chronicles of Rodrick. It's basically just gonna fill us in on what Rodrick's been doing this whole time. Saturday. I should probably start with how I got in this situation. First of all, let me get something straight. This is my actual handwriting. I usually make it look bad on purpose, so people expect less of me, but since this is just for me, I'll make it look actually nice. As for the drawings, yeah, I'm stealing Greg's style. I can't draw nearly as well as him, so I'm just gonna imitate his style. I think it's kinda neat actually. About 2 weeks ago, my family disappeared, with the exception of my younger brother, Gregory. I tried my best to toughen him up. God, I hope it worked. We were trying to leave Plainview, go explore and maybe meet up with a group of survivors, but we failed. The grouts attacked. Yeah, that's what I decided to call them. Grouts. Because they kind of look like the grout between the bathroom tiles. I'm pretty clever, you know. One of those fuckers dragged me into the woods, nearly tore off my leg too. But luckily I managed to break free. I don't think it noticed because it just kept on galloping deeper into the woods. After that, I decided the best thing to do was to just go back home, since I figured Greg and Chirag would do the same. Oh, if you're wondering what I'm writing in, I stole one of Greg's spare journals from under his bed. He's got a lot of them. It's kinda concerning. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep. No, first I'll make myself something to eat, then I'll go to sleep. Yeah, Sunday. Greg hasn't come back yet. I'm actually getting worried about the little twerp. I hope he's okay and his baby hippo of a friend are okay. You know who did come back though? Bill. He and a couple of other members of Loaded Diapers stopped by today. Morning, Mr. Heffley. They were all covered head to toe in mud, which is pretty sick. Make a good album cover. Like all of us lined up covered in mud. That'd be cool, I think. What was I writing about? Oh yeah, Bill and the gang. Apparently, they were a part of a group of survivors down in Slacksville, and they were over here looking for survivors. They offered to take me over, but I told them I couldn't. My little bro is missing after all. They said Greg is probably already dead. I hope not. He might be a wimp, but I think he's got a little fight in him. I think. I told them to come back in a few days, and if I'm not dead, then I'll go with them. That was good enough for them, and they sped off, looking for others. Maybe they should have picked out a bigger car. There was a fire that night. It was kind of far away, so it was hard to tell exactly what was on fire. All I know is that it attracted all the grouts in the area. Monday. Still no Greg. I'm hoping he's okay, but sooner or later, I'll have to face the facts. I know Greg is capable, but still. Not much happened today. I just made myself something to eat, watched some movies on the portable DVD player, and slept. A good day, honestly. You know how I said not much happened today? Well, ignore that. At least 5 grouts broke into the house. Don't ask why I'm in my underwear. I'm currently in the basement, hiding and preparing. My arsenal hasn't been raided, thankfully, so I should have no trouble cleaning them out. Tuesday. I got all of them except one. He's a tough bastard, nearly killed me a couple hours ago. Luckily, I distracted him with Mom's bedtime box. Call me crazy, but I think he's the same one that attacked us a few days ago. The one I shot. I didn't know animals could hold a grudge, but he picked the wrong rock star to hold one with. I'm finishing it now. Let me tell you, he was one tough son of a bitch. He ate my bullets like popcorn and hit like a baseball bat. A metal one too. He even threw me across the room once. I almost flew out the window, but just as he was about to eat me, I shot him square in the eye. The bullet went right through his brain and out the other end. Finally, it was over. Fuck, I'm bleeding everywhere. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get on the journal, but holy shit. Saving Private Ryan got nothing on me. Sorry, Greg. Wednesday. I blacked out a couple minutes after my fight with the grouts. When I woke up, I was in a van with Bill, Ward, and a couple others. They came for me around noon. I tell ya, I'd rather die than give these guys up. You couldn't pay me $1 million. I wonder if bands can still get popular in an apocalypse. Oh yeah, kind of bleeding out. They did what they could, but they said I needed to see the Slacksville doctor. I've never seen Bill drive this fast, and he usually goes double the speed limit. Oh, almost forgot. Found an old picture of me and Greg, back when he was in 6th grade, I think. Yeah, he was a total dork back then. He definitely toughened up. Shit, blacking out again. I saw the Slacksville doctor. First of all, Slacksville was doing pretty well for itself. Walls, giant floodlights for the night, they even had currency. The doctor said everything was fine. Some disinfectant, some stitches, and I was good as new. My future is looking up now. I hope one day I can find Greg, but until then, I'll take what I can get. Thursday. Holy shit. Some scouts just came back saying they saw a small skinny kid and a chubby kid together in a car about 30 miles outside of Slacksville. That's gotta be Greg and Rowley. Don't worry, little bro. Loaded diaper to the rescue. Thursday. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but all I know is that me and Rowley ended up passing out in Mr. Gupta's car. We probably would have died if it had not been for the loaded diaper fleet. Speaking of loaded diaper, Rodrick is alive. Rodrick? When I asked him how, he said I could read his own journal, which I didn't feel like doing, at least not right now. Apparently, I'm in Slacksville. This is where a lot of survivors in the area had been rallying to, which is probably why Plainview is so empty. Let me tell you, it's changed a lot since my last trip here. They built walls around the entire town, with people patrolling them 24/7 to make sure none of the grouts get in. Yeah, they call them grouts. Pretty sure Rodrick came up with that. They were using the same trick Rowley figured out so people could patrol the wall, but it's only effective for an hour before the mud needs to get reapplied. Because of that, only the guards are allowed outside during the day. Yeah, Rodrick has his own place now. After Bill vouched for him, he was given his own residence, which is pretty cool. It's not the case with everyone though. Rodrick just got lucky. They had a whole list of laws too, but they were all really basic stuff like how the government worked and how you should be kind. Essentials, I guess. 1. On the first day of every 3rd month of the year, Slacksville residents shall elect 7 people to make up the council. 2. You must be 13 years of age or older to run for the council of Slacksville. 3. A Slacksville resident cannot run for council twice in a row. 4. Every day the council shall meet to discuss issues and ideas created by or afflicting Slacksville residents. 5. The council shall make or approve no laws that conflict with any of the previous laws. 6. Slacksville residents shall vote in the Capitol building from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. on the first day of every 3rd month. 7. All Slacksville residents shall treat all other Slacksville residents, regardless of age, race, or gender, with basic human respect. 8. Do not go outside past 6 p.m. or after 6 a.m. unless authorized. 9. Any outsiders are to be detained and evaluated by the council unless a Slacksville resident vouches for them. The only one that got me was the last one. 10. Any Slacksville resident caught breaking these laws will be exiled. No exceptions. Guess I gotta be careful around here. Friday. Rodrick decided to grow out his facial hair. I don't know if that's a good idea though, cause yesterday he got a 5 o'clock shadow by 3. Maybe that's why Rodrick and his band carry around shaving cream cans. I met with the council today. Well, sort of. I saw them in the Capitol building, which was just a repurposed pizza place, and got a look at them. As much as I'd like to run for council, the next election isn't until December, and we're only halfway through October. It's nice not having to worry about grouts, other survivors, or food anymore. Slacksville has a couple farms, and if we need to, we have a group of scavengers that patrols the areas around us for food. Safe to say, life is looking up. Saturday. I should probably explain what happened to Rowley. For whatever reason, the council didn't trust him, so the past couple days he was under evaluation. But he was released today in order to live with me and Rodrick, since we were the only people he knew. I overheard a couple guards saying the grouts have gotten more aggressive from hunger. That makes sense. They must have picked the local wildlife clean by now, and without people caught out in the open, they had nothing to eat. Hopefully the council thinks of something to keep us safe. Slacksville is cut into 7 different sectors, each one with a specific purpose. Sector 1 is farming. Sector 2 is energy, Sectors 3, 4, and 5 are all living space, Sector 6 is a market, and Sector 7 is government. All of this is surrounded by a 12-foot wall. In all honesty, it's more like a fence, but they tried their best. It works against the grouts at least. I think it might also be electric, but I'm not brave enough to test it. Sunday, some new Rodrick news. For one, he's finally figured out his facial hair. Now he's just got a mustache. But more importantly, he's been selected by the council for the next scavenger run. They were impressed by his performances while saving me and Rowley. Apparently he was vital in that mission. It might be rough not having Rodrick around for a couple days, but I'm sure me and Rowley can do without him. Besides, it's only for a couple days. Monday. Rodrick left today. He and a few others I didn't recognize. He should be back in a couple days. Me and Rowley were assigned to work on the farm. They said that sending miners to work at the energy plants was immoral or something. That's fine with me because farming can't be that hard, right? It was hard. We were working in the dark, so it was hard to do the job well, which we were told was crucial. It was probably just bad luck or something because I think I was the only one having an issue. Either way, we just finished up. The sun will be up in a couple hours. I can't wait for a good day's sleep. Tuesday. Well, fuck. Grouts attacked, and a lot of them. The whole damn army destroyed the fence. A few of them definitely got fried, but the rest were peachy keen. We tried to defend. We tried our best to stop them, but all we had was gardening tools. The guards had their guns, but they were killed in seconds. I hid behind a large rock and prayed the grouts would ignore me. It was a bloodbath, to say the least. They only started clearing out when the sun came up, which obviously presented another problem. Fucking great. I'm trying to make it to one of the supply sheds so I can wait out the sun. Shit, I think the ink on the page is melting. It's so damn hot. I made it to the shed. I can't find Rowley. I looked where I could, but nothing. I'm so thirsty. The sun is like a sponge. It sucks up all the moisture. I think end of chapter 4. Wednesday? Well, great. I'm potentially miles away from Slacksville. Huge puddles of ink have dried to my journal. I've been using a little cutie pencil to write in this, and worst of all, I'm all alone. The last thing I remember before going unconscious was some hillbilly looking guy coming at me with a brick. I guess I have him to thank for this situation. Wait a minute, that guy's belt. That hillbilly was one of the Mingo kids. That makes so much more sense. They must have kidnapped me amidst the chaos to eat me or something, but evidently it didn't turn out too well. I won't draw it, but just know it's pretty sick. A bloody scene, right out of Hello, You're Dead, or The Foot. I can only assume the grouts got to them before they could take me back to their camp. But why didn't they kill me too? Thankfully, it's night while I'm writing this. The moon is high in the sky, so I'm guessing it's around midnight. That gives me some time to think of something. I'll update this as I make progress. I think I got something. I'm not anywhere near Slacksville, but I might be close to Plainview. It was the Mingos that kidnapped me, and they don't usually travel far from the woods they live in. I can hide out there for the day and prepare for my journey back. Sunday. The house smelled so bad that I could smell it a block away, so I decided to stay at Rowley's instead. The door was locked, but I remembered the secret entrance me and Rowley made in the backyard that led to the basement. When I got inside, I found a digital clock that read 2:49 a.m. Sunday. I was out longer than I thought. Nearly a week. It's nearly November too, which is fun. Or would be if I wasn't alone. I got no idea where Rowley or Rodrick are, and I already had to kill Chirag. No matter what, I always end up back here, with less friends than the last time. Rowley could be dead for all I know. I'm tired. I'm gonna take a nap. When I woke up, I went around the house to see if there was any supplies left. It had been a minute since I was over at Rowley's. I wanted to know what I was working with. It's better than nothing, I guess. Monday. No one should ever have to eat a tub of lard to survive. Hopefully I can find more food somewhere, but a lot of the cabinets and drawers are locked, so I have to make do with what I got. I also need a weapon. I've been doing a lot of thinking recently. At first I was pretty sad that my family had seemingly vanished, but now I'm kinda relieved. Imagine how difficult this would have been if Manny had tagged along, or if Mom or Dad did. They'd drag us down. Since Dad is gone, I didn't have to worry about him seeing the next part. I've thought of this for a while, but these last couple weeks really confirmed it. Rodrick had been a better father for me than Frank. Mom was no better. She favorited Manny and made no attempt to hide it. It's no surprise that Manny turned out the way he did. With Frank being a wacko and Susan spoiling him, I think anyone would have turned into the little zit he was. Tuesday. Why does this always happen to me? Every time I find safety or refuge or whatever, something goes wrong. Damn it! A gang or cult or whatever called the Cupcake Club are making their way down the street, raiding houses for supplies. I know this because they won't shut up. Damn it! I'm sure Mr. Jefferson kept a gun around here somewhere. Rowley told me all about it. Wait a minute, there's a safe in the master bedroom. I should have looked there first. I just need to use the universal passcode and I'll be strapped. Yes, it worked! I got the gun. One problem though, it's only got 6 bullets. Damn it! I guess this is a last resort. I hate being limited like this. Shit, I heard the door break down. I've got to hide somewhere. The Cupcake Club went through the house. Crazy bastards kept yelling even inside, breaking and stealing anything they could carry. They even took the second tub of lard. I'm not complaining or anything, but still. I managed to remain undetected. They nearly found my hiding spot, but decided looking in Mrs. Jefferson's underwear drawer was beneath them. They're really missing out. No way am I touching that. It was really nice, finally catching a break. If it was like the other 1,000 times something went wrong these past couple weeks, the Cupcake Club would have found me and fed me to their pigs or something. But something tells me this won't be the last time I run into those guys. Wednesday. I have some good news, except not actually, because nothing goes right for me. The food supplies have been ransacked. Even the Oreos I hid in Mr. Jefferson's gaming PC were stolen. If I don't find some food soon, I'm gonna starve. And after everything I've survived so far, I refuse to go out by starving of all things. I contemplated cutting off my arms and eating it or something, but the chainsaw at Chirag's was probably stolen too, and anything other than a clean cut would really fuck with my arteries according to Mrs. Gupta. She was freaky. What happened between these two? Thursday. I searched every damn house in the area from top to bottom, and nothing, not a scrap of food. Those damn cupcake crackers took it all. I have no choice. I gotta get out of here. I can't drive. Not legally, not actually, nothing. But I gotta try, because unless I can pull it off, I'm gonna die. I have driven before when we escaped Chirag, but that was more out of instinct. But this time, I can only rely on my wits. Friday. Driving was a lot easier than I thought. Maybe it's because I didn't have to worry about other drivers, but I got the hang of it pretty quickly. Now what am I gonna do? I could try to find Slacksville again, but that place isn't exactly safe. Even so, I have to go back, at the very least, so I can get Rodrick and maybe Rowley if he's alive. And if something happened to them, then I guess I'll blaze my own trail from there on. Get out of the state and make a life for myself. Either way, I'm done being stuck in the same area forever. Done with being the same person controlled by the same people in the same place. Goodbye, Plainview. Forever. End of chapter 5. Tuesday. I'm back. Not my proudest moment, hiding in an abandoned building and desperately trying to get some sleep. Last time I wrote in this, I was braving a new frontier, leaving Plainview behind forever. Now, I'm out of supplies, car broke down, I'm not exactly on cloud 9. I've even resorted to the emergency drummy, and that was 3 days ago. Long story short, I'm hungry, lost, and miles away from any civilization. And this is still better than middle school. Thankfully, the grouts seem to be far less active recently. Why or how? Who knows? Maybe from getting caught out in the sun. Something I learned recently, they're not actually immune to the sun. And you know what else? The nights have been getting longer too, cause it's just about November. Pretty neat, huh? So less of a chance that I'll get stuck in the sun. How are the grouts getting caught in the sun even though the days are getting shorter and shorter? Don't think about it. It's the only bit of hope that I have left. The only alternative is that someone or something is killing them. and I'd be damned if I come across the thing killing those monsters. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Wednesday. Guess who I found? Guess I don't need to worry about food. Thursday. The pig tasted better than I thought. I even figured out how to make a fire, so I enjoyed the first cooked meat I had in a while. It would be really boring if I just kept going on about how I'm lost in the woods, so I'll update this when something interesting happens. Tuesday. I'm still trying to process what I saw. I can't even begin to try and draw it. My worst fears have been confirmed. Something has been picking off the grouts. Something we cannot handle. We are not alone. And that was the end of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Red Sun. And it kind of ended on a cliffhanger there because that was posted about 3 months ago. Haven't really seen anything about the story continuing, but I assume it's going to continue if it ends with we are not alone, and that the grouts are getting picked off by some mysterious monster that we haven't seen before. I really hope we do get to see more of the story because I want to see what kind of thing can take down all of these grouts. But that's going to do it for me. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. If you did, of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss another upload in the future. And if you have any stories that you want me to read, put it in the comments and I'll read it sometime soon. Now I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great day.